something when we have an open circle, okay, is it's a place in our graph where there is a hole. And it's telling us we just can't be right there, okay? Now, if anyone's played Minecraft before, and if I was to crouch, right, and go towards that, will I fall in right there at the edge? No, it lets me get as close as possible to that hole, right? So if that was at -3, that would let me get to -2.999999999. But could I actually go over there to -3? Because what would happen if I went to -3? Burn to death. Die. Very good. Right? That's what it means when we use a parentheses when it says it's open or not included. It is an open hole in the graph where it can't equal. Okay? It's not going to be a point there. You can get close to that point, but could you stand on that point? No. That's what that open circle represents, is that it's just not there. It's like an open block in Minecraft. Now, brackets. Whenever we have a bracket, those mean that it is included, closed, or equal. And we use these when a graph starts or stops with a closed circle. And we're going to draw a closed circle out there beside it. So with a closed circle, it's going to be a filled-in circle, right? And those mean that it can equal. If I was a little Minecraft dude again, could I stand on a closed circle? Yes. I just can't stand on the open circle, okay? Now, whenever we're dealing with equations, we also have to think about what happens when it goes to the extremes both directions. If you go to the left or to the right forever on a graph, where is that going to eventually get to? So if I'm looking here, oh, the cute little puppies, okay? Let's look here. If I'm looking at this graph and I keep going forever, what is it going to eventually get to way, 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 way out there? Infinity, okay? And if I'm going the other way, where is it going to eventually get to?
Negative infinity.
Negative infinity, okay? When are infinity and negative infinity numbers you can actually reach? No, it's just the idea of bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger numbers, right? So if you have an infinity or a negative infinity, or bring it to me, you will always use a parentheses. So you always use a parentheses for infinity and negative infinity. Because is it a number you can run out there and stand on? No. It's not anything you can ever reach because it's the idea that it keeps getting bigger and bigger and it goes on forever. Okay? Now, we're going to look at our inequality symbols now. So with our inequality symbols, okay, we're going to start with, we're going to use an open circle for less than or greater than, okay? And we will use a closed circle for less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, okay? So by adding that equal to part, we're having to shade in our circle. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to draw something over here that's a little silly, but that I have learned that can possibly help you remember this. All right, so we're going to start Okay, and we're going to draw two little open circles. A little nose. Some whiskers. We're going to make the face with our parentheses. Give us some ears. So we have a cat. But he's not just any cat. He is a very sophisticated cat with a bow tie. Okay? And so this is a way to help you remember. Your open circles go with just less than or greater than. They go with your parentheses. And you always put a parentheses when you have an infinity sign. It's a very silly way to help you remember it. Okay? Another silly way is we're going to draw his friend the mouse. And we're going to put two closed circles here for his eyes. A little nose. Now for his whiskers, he's going to have the less than or greater than or equal to marks. Now when you have closed circles, do I use parentheses or brackets?
Brackets.
And we're going to draw his little ears. And there's our little mouse guy. Okay. Is this very silly? Yes, super silly. But did I also have kids still doing this in May of last year to help them remember? Also, yes. So, it works. It helps you remember if you struggle to remember, okay? It's a very silly way to help you remember, but it does, in fact, help you. Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do some examples. So we're going to start with just graphing and just writing out interval notation. We're not going to solve yet. We're going to solve a little bit later today. But we're going to start with just the very, very basics. Make sure we get what we're starting with. So I want us all to look at number 1. So for number 1, how do you read this right here?
X is greater. Oh, yes, and
X is what?
Less than -3. Oh, not -3, positive 3. Sorry.
All right. It is... All right. So it is X is less than 3. Okay. So what we're going to do, okay, now typically if I give you a graph that this is it's already graphed on, it will look like this, where it's just graphed directly on top of the line. If you do that with your pencil, is it going to show up on your paper?
Yes.
No.
If you drew a graph just like this, is that going to show up on your paper with your pencil?
No.
No. Okay, so what I want us to do so that it shows up when we're graphing these is we're going to write it directly above it. Okay, so for instance, for this one, do we need our point to be where for number 1?
At 3.
At 3. So all of our extra things that are happening over there need to stop. Okay, so at 3, do we need an open circle or a closed circle? Open. Now, X is less than 3. Does that go to the left or does that go to the right?
To the left.
So we're going to go ahead and put that on here and draw our line. Okay, that would be how we would graph X is less than 3. Now we're going to put this in interval notation. Okay, so for interval notation, we go from our left side to the right side. Okay, for the left of this graph, where does that arrow point to?
Negative infinity.
So let's go from negative infinity. Well, negative infinity, get a parentheses or a bracket?
Parentheses.
Okay, then we put a comma. And then the right side of this graph goes to where? Where was that point? 3. And it's open, so we need a?
Parentheses.
There we go. That is our interval notation. All interval notation is a way to take your graph and write it using symbols and numbers. That's all it is. All right. Number 2. We have X is greater than -1, right? That's how we read that. X is greater than -1. Remember, the alligator, I don't think I can draw an alligator. The piranha always wants to eat what's bigger, okay? Always trying to eat what's bigger. The little alligator is trying to eat what's bigger. That's how you remember which way it's going, okay? So if it's facing the X, X is bigger. If it's facing the number is bigger. So now, where do we need to put our point for this?
-1.
-1. Open circle or closed circle?
Open.
Now, if X is greater than -1, does our line need to go to the right or to the left?
To the right.
Okay, so that is our graph for X is greater than -1. We're also going to put that in interval notation. So we start with the left-hand side of the graph. Where is that? -1, parentheses or bracket. Then we do a comma. And it goes to, and that always gets a parentheses. All right, now we're going to look at number 3. Okay, for number 3, how do I read that?
X is greater than 7.
Not just greater than.
Greater than or equal to 7.
Oh, that part.
Yep. Okay, so it's 7. Do I need an open or a closed circle?
Closed.
Because of that or equal to part, it makes it closed. Okay, now, is there a line going to go to the right or to the left? To the right, because X is greater than, so it's going to go to the side with the bigger numbers. Now, interval notation, so it goes left to right. What is the leftmost part of that graph? It's at 7. Parentheses or bracket?
Bracket.
And then it goes to? Parentheses or bracket? Infinity will always get a parentheses. It can have both bracket and a parentheses in the same one. Yep. For those of you that are struggling to write an infinity sign, okay, it is a sideways 8. So if you cannot draw that, normal. Flip your paper sideways and draw an 8. Okay, literally take your paper and just flip it and then draw the 8 like normal. If you can't draw it by going this way, flip your paper and do it the other way. Okay, do what you gotta do to make that look like an infinity sign and not like, I don't know. I see some wild looking infinity signs.
My infinity sign is like diagonal. It's like,
That's okay. As long as it's not an 8. I have some people that just draw an 8. It's not an 8. If you're going to draw an 8, turn your paper sideways, okay? Because if you put 8, it will be wrong. You got to turn it sideways. Understand? Okay. So now, number 4. Okay. How do I read number 4?
X is less than or equal to -5.
So our point needs to go at open or closed circle. Does our line need to go to the right or to the left? Left, because it is less than. Oh, that's not the right way. Needs to go to the left, to the side with the smaller numbers. Okay. Now, how do I do my interval notation for that? What's the left part?
Negative infinity, parentheses,
And then -5.
in bracket.
In a bracket. Why does that go in a bracket?
Because it's a closed number.
There we go. Okay, so that is what we do to just graph the lines. Okay, now for 5 through 8, we're going to go the other way. We're going to look at the graph and we're going to write out the inequality and write out the interval notation. Okay, so for number 5, okay, where is our point at there?
Negative 2.
-2. And is X going to be less than -2 or greater than -2? Less than. Okay. So we're going to do X is less than -2 because we have an open circle at -2 that goes to the left. Okay. That's how we know that. Now, how would I do the interval notation for that? What does this part go to? So we're going to go negative infinity with a, and then it goes to, not just 2, -2 with a parentheses, because is it open or closed? Open. All right, number 6. Where is our point at?
4.
4. Okay. And then is x less than or greater than 4? Greater than 4.
Greater than or equal to.
It is greater than or equal to. So does that mean the little alligator needs to eat x or eat 4?
X.
It is greater than or equal to 4. Now, what is our interval notation? This starts on the left, so where is that going to be at?
4.
With the parentheses or bracket?
Bracket.
And then it goes to the right, which is at,
Infinity. Oh, yeah, infinity.
which is going to be,
Parentheses. Plus you.
all right, number 7. Where is our point at for number 7?
0.
Okay, now, is x less than or greater than 0?
Less than or equal to.
It is going to be less than or equal to, but does that point us to the, does our little alligator need to eat x or eat 0?
0.
And it is less than or equal to. How do we know it's or equal to? Because it's a closed circle. And so to do our interval notation, we start at the left, which takes it to the left.
Negative infinity, actually. Thank you.
And it gets a parentheses, and it goes to 0, which is a bracket.
Bracket.
So remember, this will directly line up with where the arrow's at and where our point's at. All right, number 8. Where is our point at for number 8?
3. Oh, negative 3.
Negative 3. And is x greater or less than?
Greater.
So to write this, I would do x and negative 3, but does the little alligator need to eat x or eat negative 3? Is it just greater than or is it greater than or equal to?
Greater than.
Just greater than. How do you know?
Because it's open.
Because it is open. Now, we start at the left side, which is what? With a parentheses or bracket. And it goes to?
Infinity.
With a parentheses. Okay, if it has the arrow, that means it's going to infinity. All right, now, we're going to actually switch gears and solve these just like we do equations, okay? We do the exact same things to solve these as we do equations. There is only one difference, okay? And so that one difference happens specifically when you multiply or divide a negative number. So everything else is the same, but you have to flip your inequality when you multiply or divide by a negative number. So only if you multiply or divide by a negative number do you have to flip the inequality. Everything else is the exact same thing you do with equations, okay? And we're going to do several examples. So we're going to start with number 9. Okay, for number 9, how do I solve that?
Okay, so basically.
What do I start by doing?
Subtract 2.
Subtract 2 on both sides.
Sorry.
So we get 3x is less than, what is negative 4 minus 2?
Negative 6.
We have negative 4 and we take away 2 more.
Negative 6.
So it gives us negative 6. All right, now, what do I do from here?
Divide by 3.
We're dividing by what number?
3.
Is 3 negative?
No.
No. So do I need to flip my inequality?
No.
You will only flip your inequality if what you are dividing by is negative. Okay? So what is negative 6 divided by 3?
Negative 2.
So that is our answer for this one. So it is x is less than negative 2. So we're going to go over here. Is my number line already numbered?
No.
If it is not numbered, you're just going to take whatever number you got as your center number, and then you put numbers on both sides. What's a number 1 smaller than -2?
1, -1, 3.
1 smaller than -3? 1 smaller than -4?
-5.
What's a number 1 bigger than -2?
-1.
What's a number 1 bigger than -1? 1 bigger than 0? There we go. Now, we have x's less than -2. So at -2, do I need an open or a closed circle? Open. And then is it going to go to the right or to the left?
Oh, it's going to the left.
And then we do our interval notation. So we start at the left. Where does that go?
Negative infinity.
And it goes to
-2.
parentheses or negative infinity? Parentheses. And that is how we do these. We solve just like we do equations, and then we graph and write our interval notation. All right, I want us to go ahead and we're going to go through all of the evens on the back page together. Okay? So I want us to look at number 10. How do I solve number 10? Subtract 2 on both sides. So we get x divided by 6 is greater than, what is -1 minus 2?
Miss Williams,
Yes, ma'am?
Abby Kemp has a dismissal.
Yes, ma'am. See you later, Abby. In a while, crocodile. You said, see you later, alligators. Mm. All right, what do I do from here?
You divide.
Or I'm already dividing, so I need to.
Multiply. Oh, sorry.
What are we multiplying both sides by?
6.
Am I multiplying by a positive number or a negative number? Positive, so does anything change? So we have x is greater than -18. All right, so over here, we're going to put -18 in the center. What's a number 1 less than -18?
-19.
What is 1 less than -19? 1 less than that? 1 greater than -18? 1 less? All right, now, at -18, does it need to be open or closed?
Open.
And is x going to go to the right or to the left? To the right. Because x is greater than -18. How do I do our interval notation for that? Parentheses or bracket? And it goes to? Parentheses or bracket? There's too many extra conversations happening over there, boys. Let's stop our extra conversations, please. All right. Now we're going to drop down and look at number 12. So for number 12, what do I do to solve number 12? I'm doing what? Multiplying both sides by -2. Am I multiplying by a positive or a negative number? If you multiply by a negative number, your inequality sign is going to flip, okay? So we will put x plus 12 is greater than, what is -2 times -2?
Negative. Oh, plus 4.
Positive 4. And then what do we do? And x is greater than -8. All right. So from here, on our number line over here, we're going to put -8 in the center. What is a number 1 less than -8? 1 less than that? 1 more? 1 greater than -8. 1 more? 1 more.
Look at me go.
Open or closed circle? And does it need to go to the right or to the left?
Oh, bro, it's on the wrong number line.
That's the point of open.
Yes, ma'am.
I put this on the wrong notebook.
I did
All right.
the same thing.
From here, what do we do? What's our interval notation? Parentheses or bracket? And it goes to? All right. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at number 14. Okay, for number 14, what do I do first? Distribute. Does anything special happen to that x?
No.
So we're going to just bring it down. Then we need to distribute what?
-3.
What is negative 3 times x? What is negative 3 times 2?
Wait, there it is. -6.
Is greater than 4. Now what do I do to solve this?
You combine like
What are our like terms?
-3x and x.
Y'all are like on the same thing.
Okay, so we have negative 2x minus 6 is greater than 4. Now what do I do?
Subtract. Add 6.
What is 4 plus 6?
10.
So we have negative 2x is greater than 10. Now what do I do?
Divide by 2.
Divide by negative 2. So what's going to happen to our inequality sign?
It's going to flip.
It's going to flip. And we're going to get x is less than negative 5. And that is what we're going to put on our graph over here. So we're going to do negative 5. What's the number 1 less than negative 5?
Oh, what am I doing?
1 less than negative 6?
-7.
1 less than that?
-8.
1 more than negative 5?
-4.
1 more?
-3.
1 more.
-2.
Open or close circle?
Open.
To the right or to the left? And so that makes our interval notation what?
Negative parentheses. -5.
Crap.
Parentheses or bracket? Parentheses. And we're going to do number 15 together too. All right, for number 15, does anything happen with that 7x? Okay, so I'm going to just bring it down. Then I need to do what?
Distribute -2.
What is negative 2 times x?
-2x.
What is negative 2 times negative 4?
8.
Is less than or equal to.
-2.
Okay, then what do we do?
Combine like terms and get positive 5.
So we have 5x plus 8 is less than or equal to negative 2. Then what do I do?
Subtract -8.
So we have 5x is less than or equal to. Then what?
Divide by 5.
Am I dividing by a positive or a negative number? Positive. So does our inequality flip?
No.
So we have x is less than or equal to
-2.
negative 2. And then we're going to go draw our line over here. So put negative 2 in the middle. What's the number 1 less than negative 2?
Shoot.
1 less than that? Even less than that? 1 more than negative 2? 1 more than that?
0.
1 more?
1.
Open or close circle?
Close.
To the right or to the left?
To the left.
To the left. And then what's our interval notation?
Parentheses, negative, infinity, and then 2 bracket.
Negative 2
-2 bracket.
with a bracket. There we go. So I want y'all to take a second and I want y'all to do 11 and 13 for me. Few questions 11 and 13.
Come on, kid. Let's do this.
Alright, and if you need help, raise your hand and I will come help you.
I need help with the line.
So where do you want me to go?
Maybe 12.
Okay, close or open?
That's why we drink water and water only.
Does it look like a lot of
Go back to the trestle.
Does it open or close circle?
Close.
Close.
Wait, does it go to the left?
How do I read that?
Greater than or equal to? So there's a
Oh, boom. Wait.
So how did you get to greater than or equal to? Because it starts with a less than. So what did you have to do to do that?
you were dividing by negative.
Oh, all shade.
So it'd be brackets. No, yes. And then infinity.
So bracket.
There you go.
And then another bracket.
Would it be a bracket? Is infinity something you can go and stand on?
No.
So it's just a.
Prince.
Bracket, negative 12 infinity.
Yeah, and then prince.
Thank you, Donna. Is it gonna make me fall with high stuff like this?
Okay. So what we do, we're not. Right, we need that, I guess.
Negative 12.
You moved it, right? You didn't move it. Let's get rid of that.
Huh?
And then that's all Fred.
Negative two.
Uncle Fred.
I'm on one though, so how do I undo that?
Alex. Aren't you Uncle Fred?
How do I undo multiplication?
You did call your father by both sides. So we're leaving that behind.
Negative two.
Wait, and why what? In what year? 2026?
No, it was 6th grade. It was. I don't even
Now,
know.
when you divide by
Because it
negative,
was me, her, and Hazel that sat together in the back of Miss Morris's.
Haley, was it because you liked some guy?
So what is negative two x divided by two?
Wasn't it because you liked some guy?
No, it was from a YouTube video. Yeah.
Father
What is
Wild?
24 divided by
What was Hazel?
No, it's about Hazel. I think it was just us two.
Paisley was just like, Paisley was just there.
Yeah, Paisley was just there.
See, how do I read this? X is, okay, so
I think I'm getting it.
under your, under your.
Which one's the one she wanted?
Wait, if I'm switching to negative, that means. Or no, it's dividing.
If you're dividing by a negative, it's gonna be, you're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
flip it.
Now,
This is negative
for next
36.
week, for your close, open and close.
X is greater than.
Negative 4.
Oh, negative 12.
So X is,
It's pretty much the same documentation as number
so you need to have it.
12, but you're just replacing the negative
Now,
eight.
if X is greater than, so to the right.
You thought I said a bad word. All shade.
Which side does X get bigger? Does
What
negative
joke?
13 bigger or negative 10 bigger?
My math teacher told me I needed glasses.
So actually, wow. Walk out. Yeah, tell her. She liked it.
Where does the left part of that line?
14, 13. Negative 9. Where'd you get negative 9? Oh, shoot, you're right. 9 times 5.
I'm confused.
9 times yes. Should go over now. So like, we leave in like 2 minutes.
And then infinity will always say.
And my OFS teacher isn't here.
Yes. Okay, I'm ready.
So, my math teacher told me I needed glasses.
I've heard that one before, but it does make me chuckle. I enjoy it.
Is it funny?
I like it. Alright, so we're going to look at number 11. For number 11, what is the first thing you need to do?
Number 11, you need to subtract 5 or add 5.
Add 5 on both sides. Once you add 5, you get negative 2x is less than or equal to 24. Then what do you do?
To subtract or divide by -2.
Divide by -2. When you divide by a negative, what happens? You have to flip your inequality. So you get x is greater than or equal to -12. All right, let's look real fast at this one here. Okay, we start by doing what for 13?
13, we gotta
We distribute. Okay, we distribute, we get 4x plus 12 is greater than -24. Okay, y'all still have 2 minutes.
Oh,
That clocks are a minute fast. I do that so I stop
My
it.
watch says 1 minute. My watch actually says 30 seconds.
Now it says it. Well, we're gonna keep going. Okay, what do I do from there? Subtract both sides. 4x is greater than -36. Then what do I do? Divide by 4. So x is equal to?
-9, I'll show you.
Ah,
Does the motion not ring anymore?
no, it does. It's just those clocks are a little bit fast. I purposely make them fast though